from the Tech.AD Berlin 2017. I'm Christina from we.CONECT, and I'm really happy to be here with Aravind Ratnam from Wind River. Aravind, welcome to the conference.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for your time to participate in our interview.
Not at all.
Do you mind just briefly introducing yourself and tell us a bit more about your professional background?
Fair enough. I run connected vehicle products at Wind River, and prior to this, I was running the strategy function, corporate strategy function at Wind River. I have background as a management consultant, and prior to that, I was an engineer. I was also in startups, etc. But I came to Wind River with experience across 10 or 12 different verticals, and I'm able to translate some of those challenges into my current role.
Mm-hmm. And tell us a bit more about your company, like Wind River, what you...
Right. So Wind River is a leader in providing safe, secure, and intelligent software. They've been around for 35 or so years, and our clients include the Fortune 500 technology companies, and our software is on 2 billion devices and something like 100 million cars that are out there. So very excited to be at Wind River.
And what are Wind River's USPs compared to competitors?
So we don't necessarily think of it as competition. I always like to think of it in terms of ecosystem. Really hard technology problems can be solved as ecosystems rather than as competition. We are in the business of providing intelligent solutions. We are increasingly looking to provide connectivity, intelligent device management solutions that are safe and secure to people who want to be in the connected devices space as well as autonomous vehicles. So very exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is actually an open standard, and what do you think the role of an open standard in software for autonomous driving is?
If you think of open standards, it helps to think about what a closed standard is to begin with. So there's something called a de facto standard. Traditionally in the past, companies have tried to push their solution into the market and sort of standardize around them. They used to get called as de facto standards. What's happening is that increasingly, in the spirit of innovation, companies don't want to get locked into proprietary technologies, and they want to be able to innovate fast and rapid and not get locked onto any particular way of doing things. So that's given way to the rise of so-called open standards, where different companies can do what they do best and have a framework that integrates all of it together.
Okay. And what do you think will standards look like in the near future?
Right. So it's interesting. I presume you are asking in the context of autonomous vehicles.
Absolutely.
So the main thing is to understand the trade-off, why you need an open standard versus why you do not need an open standard. Why you do need an open standard is that it lets you innovate, as I was saying, because it's you can swap technology in and out without a considerable amount of effort. Because previously, when you did not have open standards, you were bound to doing things in a certain way, and with that sort of a monolithic way of looking at things, every single additional innovation came at a very large cost, right? And in the parallel I always like to draw is with what happened in aerospace and defense, and with Boeing and so on and so forth. When they were locked on to a single way of doing things, doing anything on top was initially not just hard, but eventually resulted in operational inefficiencies. And that was hard when fuel costs were rising, right? And my belief is that the same sort of paradigm will translate across to autonomous vehicles.
Okay.
Right.
And zooming out of that scenario just a little bit and looking at it from a broader angle, what do you think are actually the future trends in autonomous driving, or even the challenges?
Well, the thing in autonomous vehicles is there's no single standard, right? And so companies are trying to converge around that. Secondly, with autonomous, initially the high-end features, the semi-autonomous or fully autonomous features will initially be addressed at the top end of the market, to the luxury sort of cars, and because they're expensive, frankly speaking, but what will happen is that pricing efficiencies will set in, and those features will eventually trickle down to the lower end of the market. So that's the main thing. Secondly, standards are a big concern. So certification is going to be key. There is a lot of technology that works in isolation, but when you put it all together, as I was referring to in my talk about complexity, there is emergent behavior that needs to be managed before those technologies can be deemed to be fit for the usage of common passengers. And so safety and security is a very big concern, and certification will play a very big role. So those are two trends that I can think of at the top of my mind.
Okay.
Right.
And if we look at level 4 for autonomous driving, from your professional experience, from your professional background, when do you think that will become a reality?
L4.
Yeah. L4.
The L3 has to work really well. L4, I think the leading innovators are already starting to think about it already. So what happens is the start of production will be in the 2020s, but the technology designs will be done within the next 1 or 2 years. So the industry is moving really fast and aggressive. So the designers will design in the technologies not far from now, and once that's done, they're going to start making the technology work, and then so start of production in the 2020s, technology design in the next couple of years, maybe.
Yeah. Definitely exciting times ahead of us.
Excellent. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for participating in that interview and sharing your insights, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Will do. Thank you so much.